Am I live? But my camera's not showing. So that's a problem. Gotta check my channel, see if my camera's showing. Where's live? Live here. Oh, okay. That seems to be working, though I don't know why that background is there. Hi. Kill a second. And this is where's the volume? There we go. Okay. But my camera. Oh, this is weird. I cannot see myself. Maybe if I share screen. What if I share this screen? So this is bizarre. Hey guys. This is weird. Well, maybe that's fine. Okay, well, I guess it'll work. I'm using this software called StreamYard, and in the studio section here, I cannot see myself. So, for the comments here. Oh, hey, John Anderson, Diego Alarcon. John Anderson, you sound like a superhero. Let's see. Anyway, Diego Alarcon, nice background. I didn't pick that background. I don't know why that's doing that. See if I can change the background. Virtual background. Oh, I see. Oh, it's just a brick. I think I prefer the brick background. Yeah, just brick is fine. Yeah, I'll just go for the real, no background. Let me just go back and waste some more of your time. Sorry. Okay, guys. There we go. There we go. Oh, and now I can see myself. Oh, you know what it was? I was using a background and it was not letting me see myself. Now everything's fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, hi. Good to see you again. I just finished one can of Strong Zero. 3 nights in a row, live streaming. I wasn't going to do that tonight, but wife's got a headache, so you know. I think everyone's got the flu in my family, little by little. That was a joke, by the way, or was it? I wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday and finish up some stuff. Hey Simon, yeah, StreamYard works for me usually, but I had a problem with it just a few seconds ago. Anyway, all right, Rolling Stones, scones. So yesterday, I gotta show you guys something. Yeah, I forgot. I gotta show you something. Just a second. It's in this camera. I'm going to send this picture to that screen there. And yeah, I'm going to send some pictures to you here. Just a second. Let's just do. I got a few things to talk to you guys about. Yeah. Here we go. Send to iMac. Okay. So I'm going to have to share. I'm going to have to change the screen here. A second here. I hope that's not showing. Okay. Just a second. Good. Okay. Let me open up these pictures. There we go. Does that work? Maybe that works. Maybe I can show just my screen. Let me see. So I have some things I want to show you here. Share screen. Can I share? Which one? How do I do this? Can I share window? Okay, well, we can do this one now. Oh, no, I didn't share something very important. Hold on. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, I'll share this one first. There, okay? So this is for later, but so yesterday, it's not there. What the hell? Let's try again. This isn't what I wanted to share. Let's try again. Where are you? Oh, it's not sharing the picture. That's bizarre. Why is this not sharing? Ah, just a second here. Having technical difficulties. I'm trying to say, Black saying, good to see you. I'm trying to share some pictures with you, but for some reason, my airdrop is not working. Let's try this again. Oh, failed. Oh, it's failed. Why is it failing? Ah, okay. Oh, I see. There. Maybe it'll work now. Okay. So again, did it work? No, it didn't work. Well, okay, I'll show you this one. That's fine. So yesterday I made a rant. Hey, Electrojet, good to see you, man. Long time no see. Yesterday I made a rant about Angry Aussie, right? And I sent him the video, and this is what happened. As a result, I got this: Angry Aussie has blocked you. And I went to, when I made a thumbnail for yesterday's video, right? And the way I did that was combining a lot of. I'll show you. Well, we talked about a few things yesterday, and one of the things we talked about was Angry Aussie, and the other thing was where's this picture? Here's the thumbnail now. You could see, right? Okay. Oh, it didn't work. What happened? Let's try that again. Anyway, this is the thumbnail, and to get that, I had to make the thumbnail, right? So I went over to his page. This is really boring. Sorry. I'll get to the good part in a few minutes. I went to his page to try to find a good picture of him. I couldn't find anything. And I noticed he hadn't posted in a while. So his channel's kind of dead. And I did find, like, the last video he posted was about somebody who had died like a few months ago. What is airdrop? Airdrop is when you use, like, if you have an iPhone and a Mac, you can send the photographs in here to your Mac, right? To your computer, or anybody's iPhone. Anybody who has a Macintosh, Apple product, can share pictures easily, really quick. It's really, really fast. It's very convenient because I guess I'm working in a Mac environment, which I know a lot of you guys hate, but I don't care. Please don't go off on that tangent. So here's the photograph, or the thumbnail I made yesterday. And yesterday we talked about DiCaprio and Angry Aussie being like, oh, really outraged about the fact that DiCaprio has a young girlfriend, whatever. And you just love to criticize, but insult people, call you out. Don't be surprised that he blocked you. Oh, I'm not surprised he blocked me, Ahmed. I don't care he blocked me. Ahmed thinks I'm like you. You think I care? That's not the point. Just shut up and listen, okay? Okay, I'll get to you. Don't assume shit, dumbass. Okay, so like I said yesterday, I want to get into this, but here's the point. I went to his page to look at it, and I noticed that his last video was about someone who had died. And he showed in the beginning of the video, I watched just a minute or so of it. You see him, and he looks like this with the black, kind of dark hair and short hair. And he's doing some kind of skit with somebody. I wasn't paying too much attention. And then the video changes, and it's a picture of him looking like a emaciated Santa Claus. He's got he's got white hair, and he looks terrible. I felt bad. I was like, oh wow, he's kind of pot. He just looked weak and old, and I imagine maybe that's what you guys see sometimes. If you look at my older video, then you come and you see this, you're like, oh, what happened to him, right? But Ahmed, you said you just love to criticize, but I don't just love to criticize. That's not true. That's bullshit anyway. And I'm not insulting him. Was I insulting him? Yeah, because I was disappointed because I kind of looked up to him. I thought he was a pretty smart guy. And my whole point yesterday was simply, not to drag out yesterday's point, was he was a guy that I thought could argue intelligently. And when I presented him with what I thought was some good points about, why do you care about DiCaprio? I mean, don't you think that's silly? There's bigger issues in the world. He just simply erased my comments and blocked me. So I don't even care they blocked me. I thought he erased my comments, and he just basically wanted to create a bubble on his Facebook page of people who just agreed with him, because everyone on there was like, yeah, it's so creepy. That's disgusting. He's a groomer. I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, who cares? I mean, why are you thinking about it? I don't think about it. I don't spend any time thinking about who famous people are dating at all. Right. And if you think about it, there's a lot of people who are much worse than this guy. And it's not even bad, like whatever. But my issue was with the simple fact that he couldn't argue. And instead of arguing, he just blocked and erased. And I thought he was above that. I mean, I'm not surprised people do that at all. I was surprised he did it. It's a completely personal thing, because I'd seen quite a few of his videos in the past, and he always seemed like a fairly logical person who could, we could have a discussion with. Mateo, thank you. I'm working on one right now. Good morning from California, Taicho Ryuku. Are you Japanese, or is that just a thing? Anyway, so because the thing is, I bitch about other people. I do. I wouldn't say I love it. I think it's kind of, I feel a little bit guilty about it sometimes, but I've definitely chilled out, and I don't spend a lot of time with things like that. I don't waste time though with people I think that are really negative, and I cut off a lot of people in my life in the last few years. The older I get, I just limit the time I spend with people who I think are really negative, and really good old friends I just don't talk to anymore, because I think they've got problems, and I just feel I feel bad after spending any time with them. So why should I feel bad? It's a different hat, by the way, than yesterday's hat. Did you notice? It's a different hat. I found this hat. I'm the kind of guy who picks up shit on the ground. I found this hat on, I think it was like years and years ago. That hat I actually bought. Anyway, that's not the only thing. You're a total hypocrite, but sometimes interesting. Okay, well, everyone's a hypocrite. Ahmed Usul, I'm sure you're a hypocrite as well. But I am a hypocrite, but I do try to. You know what? I am a hypocrite because I will support you, Ahmed, because even though I don't think you're capable of this kind of intellectual argument, but so I just said I don't like. I just criticized Angry Aussie for making a comment and then refusing to debate it on Facebook, right? And just erasing and blocking. And then I just admitted that I do basically that in real life with my ex-friends. But it isn't that simple. It isn't that simple. There was a guy on YouTube that I used to be good friends with, and I felt like he was. I just felt negative every time I talked to him, and I felt like the things he was talking about were. I don't want to use any negative words, but I want to say that our ethics and morals were different. And I told him I didn't just block him. I said, I don't like what you're doing. I think, and I told him to his face, I think you were. I can't say this without. I don't want some of you will guess who it is, so I don't want to badmouth the guy. But basically, I said I didn't want to spend any more time with him, and I told him what I thought about him, and it wasn't good. But I did tell him. And I did tell him, and I don't wish him any bad. I don't dislike him at all, but I do think that associating with him made me kind of feel negative or dirty, even. But, so I cut him off. Right. Yeah, Electrojet. So yeah, 42 and 22. I mean, it's up to you, man. You guys are still together, right? It's been years, right? So, Torok. Yeah. No, I found this hat long before the ball that I saved from the tree. Remember, I saved that ball from the tree. Peruvian, Simon says, I guess, looking vaguely Peruvian. Yeah, you know what? It does look Peruvian, because a lot of Peruvian Indians will wear this kind of hat. Anyway, but that's not what I'm talking about today. But I did want to wrap up yesterday's conversation that way. Anyway, so yesterday we talked about this. And I got that out of the way. Now today, we're going to talk about something else. And I actually prepared a little collection of things to talk about. Just a minute, please, ladies. And hello, Motz, John Motz. Oh, I recognize your name. Let's share another screen. But I'll start off with, I'll just start randomly. It'll be pretty random, so don't. Here we go. I think this is the, okay. So here we go on the right. We're looking at influencer year, and this is the wine cone. So I just to bring him back, I know Electro Jed knows who this guy is. Crumbine knows who this guy is. Crumbine, good to see you, man. People coming back from the past, man. These are really talented people. But one of the most talented YouTubers back in the day, and one of the first YouTubers to ever get paid, was a guy named the Wine Cone. And if you look at his page, he has not made a video in a year. This is the first, he made a video today for the first time in a year. And I think he's actually like an engineer or something. And he's a really funny guy, but and he's really offbeat. Like he puts a lot of work into scripting his videos. And I mean, you know how one thing that bugs me about people is that everyone thinks that they have a quirky sense of humor. So many people say, "Oh, I have such a quirky sense of humor." Not everybody can have a quirky sense of humor. I bet you nobody thinks they have an average sense of humor. Seriously, ask somebody. Do you think you have a quirky sense of humor? 90% of the time, they're going to say, "Yes, I have a quirky sense of humor." But the wine cone really does have a weird sense of humor, and it's borderline pervy too. But it's very funny, and sometimes anyway, he was one of the big influences on my life, and he talked about in his video today about the fact that many young people contact him and leave comments saying he was such a big influence on their when they were young adults or even children. And I get that too all the time. Like, I used to watch you when I was in high school, and now it's 20 years later. And I got a comment on Instagram, and I put this on my Twitter the other day. I got a comment on, maybe I can actually find it for you. Just a minute. Let's go to media. This is my Twitter. How do I do this? How does this work? Media. Yeah. I'll I'll find it real quick. Yeah, here we go. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Oh, now I went too far. No, I don't know. Oh, no, maybe they're on here. They're on here. No, anyway, I can't find it. But it was a comment saying, oh, here it is. This is it. You can see it here. Stephen plus random number. About 12 years ago, you went out of your way to help me, a stranger, get a mixed account in Japan so I could use it to practice Japanese. I've been in Japan 10 years and worked as a translator. I've always felt in your debt. Now, I don't remember Stephen at all. Okay. But 12 years later, he says, thank you. And I get mails like this all the time about, hey, I used to watch you. And you helped me out back in the day, you know. And people have sent me emails like this all the time. Now, less now than before, because I'm not very active anymore. But just 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? Today's Friday? Thursday, yes. A German guy came to visit me, old friend, Hinerk, and I'll show you his picture. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not what I'll show you. So we're going to be jumping around here. Hinerk came to visit me. And where's Hinerk? This is Hinerk, okay? And I've known him quite a few years. I think this is his third visit to Japan. And we hang out when he comes over. Anyway, oh shit, I got off the topic here. What the hell? Oh, we were walking around Cannon yesterday. And these two American businessmen, and they're both wearing masks, were walking around. Oh, they're wearing masks. Oh my God. They're wearing masks and walking around. We were wearing masks too. I took off the mask for this photograph, in case you're curious. And we were in the same liquor store. This is something very funny. There's a used liquor store in Japan called Liquor Off. Isn't that bizarre? So let me go back and tell you why this exists in the first place. The most common store in Japan for used things is called Book Off. Okay. And Book Off sells used books, and they also sell like CDs and DVDs and stuff like that. And this is a picture of Book Off, right? They like this, see, DVDs, books, and stuff like that. And they also sell like monitors and used electronics and stuff, but mostly it's books. But yeah, they have a little section of. They even sell clothes, as you can see in this picture over here. They even have clothes, right? Anyway. So we were in a liquor off, and a liquor off is like a book off, except they sell liquor that people, I guess, got donated or got gifted, and they decided this is the one we went to actually, and they decided they didn't want to drink it or something, so they sell it there. And sometimes in the front here, in these plastic boxes in the front, they have like novelty cups and like Sapporo glasses and shit and beer glasses. By the way, today I'm drinking a Knob Creek. This goes for 3,800 yen, which is about $35, $34 in Japan, which is a pretty good deal, I think. Can you watch a Super Bowl in Japan? I guess, but I don't care about the Super Bowl. I'm completely uninterested in organized sports. The only thing I care about is man on man gay porn. Just kidding. The only thing I care about is man on man boxing, like MMA or boxing. I've done a little bit of boxing myself, so and Taekwondo when I was a kid. So I'm interested in that kind of sport. But otherwise, I don't care. But I will go to see a baseball game because it's fun for the atmosphere. Anyway, so we went to liquor off. We were in the liquor off, and these two American businessmen were in there, and we were like, kind of walking around each other, commingling, whatever. Yeah, hard off is the other one. So there's book off, there's hard off, and there's liquor off. And hard off deals mostly with electronics. But the funny thing is they're all completely owned by different people. And the guy who owns book off and hard off, they are different. They're friends. Like I talked to the guy at the store, and he told me the whole history. He's like, yeah, they're friends, and they just started a different store. So they don't have books. And in the hard off, there are no books at all. It's just electronics. But if you go in the back, you can find like old microphones and wires and shit, and you might find something you like, right? Crumbine says, "Is there a hard-on across the street?" You would think, right? No, but I get a hard-on every time I go into hard off, because I'm a nerd. But so the book off is the big one. Then they have the hard off, and the hard off you can find like figures and video games and a lot of toys and stuff in there. And then you have liquor off, which has only liquor in glasses and things like that. And I was looking for a bottle of I'll show you, a Japanese whiskey to bring to my father next week. And I wanted a bottle of this hibiki stuff. This one, right? And I got this one. This is Hibiki Harmony. I picked up a bottle of this today at a liquor mountain, which I highly recommend. I don't know if they have liquor mountains all over Japan, but if you ever come to Japan or Nagoya area, this area, there's a whole bunch around here. They're called liquor mountains, and they're huge liquor stores that have, of course, liquor, and also they have like imported foods and cheeses and stuff like that. So, but I found this exact bottle for only 10,700 yen. Which is still quite a bit. And this is like the low end hibiki, which is the nice one. And I found a bottle of coffee, whiskey, Mika, I think it was. Or this one. And as you can see, oh, wow, this one's actually cheaper. I don't know, what is that? 1 bag's pack of 4? This is weird. Chocolate. This is chocolate. Oh, this is a mistake. This picture's wrong, obviously. No, I found this bottle for 7,000 yen, so it's a really pretty good deal. Vanilla. I don't think that's true, but anyway, it's a very specific kind of whiskey, made only in Japan. Yeah, there we go. This guy, right? Grain whiskey. I got this one at Liquor Mountain. So those are my gifts for my father because I'm going to go visit him. Peanut butter whiskey. Wow. Yeah, I don't know that one. I like to try. I'll put that on my list, Combine. Yeah, I'm drinking. This is my go-to whiskey, Knob Creek. I'll drink cheaper stuff, but it's pretty good. Anyway. Okay, so at the store, these two Americans that I was intermingling with, they were about to leave, and then one of the younger guy turns around and says, "Hey, do I know you?" And I was thinking I knew him for some reason, but I was completely wrong. It was my imagination. I said, yeah, I was thinking I know you too. I think we've met. And he goes, no, I mean, I'm just visiting from America. I think his name was Keith, maybe. Keith? No, I don't remember. And he said, I've seen you on YouTube. I used to watch your YouTube videos. And I was like, wow, and that has not happened to me in a while. And it was kind of cool because I was with my friends at the time. So there was like, oh, I'm still relevant. Yay, someone remembers me. But but you know what? If I ever saw the wine cone, I would be like, yay, the wine cone. I can't believe it's the wine cone. Where's the wine? Where's the wine cone? Where's the wine cone video that I'm looking for? Over here. Yeah, we started with this. Yeah. So he was kind of one of the people I really looked up to back in the day. It's just one of the funniest guys and just a great video maker. And it's often artistic and often just funny and often just dirty. But he never, the one thing about the wine cone he didn't do, which I pretty much only do, is that he never really talked about himself. So you really don't know anything about him at all. Like everything is a joke, but if you don't know him, he was featured in New York Times Magazine too. So a very interesting guy. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that to him. The other thing I want to talk about was masks, because I don't know if I talked about this yesterday, but on March 13th, as you can see from the headline here, this is your last free article. Japan has basically decided we're going to leave it up to you to decide whether you want to wear a mask inside or outside. It's up to you. You guys can decide. So yeah. Which is interesting. And I have a Japanese, I teach online, as I mentioned yesterday. Not just online, but I have quite a few online students. And the online students I have are usually a little bit smarter and busier than the ones that come to the school. And yesterday's student was a doctor who's very fluent, actually has met my father. And he was telling me that he thought Japanese are going to be uncomfortable with this because most Japanese want to follow orders. They want to be told what to do. They don't like that kind of independence and freedom. And I thought that's probably true. They'd rather be told. And then they did an interview this morning. That was last night, right? Or yesterday morning. This morning, I saw an interview on TV, and they were just walking around the street, and they were asking people, what are you going to do on March 13th? And almost everybody's like, oh, I think I'm going to keep wearing it. I guess I'm going to keep wearing it. But a junior high school girl said, well, I'm in the middle of taking tests to go into high school, so I think I'm going to wait until I get into the high school, until I pass my test, and then I'm going to screwball peanut butter whiskey. Okay, check it out. And then I'm going to take it off. So, yeah. Well, Dan H. Hiko Simon is now in America, and the time difference is crazy. So I don't know if we're going to have one of those. But I'll be in America too, so maybe we can. Maybe we can do an American version. I'll try to do that. I'll try to talk to him. I do still talk to Hiko Simon. And like he's one of the few people who've survived, our friendship has survived somehow. Anyway, I'm going to write down these. I got to write down these risky choices. How do I? Oh, I can't copy this. I gotta make a file here. Hold on. And because I got a note here. Let me see here. What is that? Bunahab and screwball whiskey. Peanut butter whiskey. Okay, I'll check this out later. Anyway, it was just interesting. But I got a comment back to where's my Instagram? Here we go. If you go back to my Instagram, I put it. This is today's picture. Let's see. I put this is a picture of my student, and I was actually waiting. So in Japan, let me explain how kids go to school in Japan. Kids go to school alone, and it's kind of the rule. They're basically, it's the rule, like they have to. Like I asked my wife, why can't I walk him to school? Like if I have time in the morning, sometimes I could do it, right? And it would be nice to walk with my son to school. She goes, no, he's got to go with the group. It's the rule. I'm like, oh, okay. So what happens is, you see the kids in the background here. There's kids in the background, right? My son is actually on to my right. He's kind of shy. So, and I was really surprised to see this girl who's my old student. I didn't recognize her at all. But all the kids get together at an appointed place, and then they walk to school in a group. And the older kids kind of protecting the younger kids, and they wait for each other. And at a certain time, they leave. And if someone's late, they just leave. So because sometimes people are sick, right? Anyway, so as you can see, we're both wearing masks, and all the kids in the back are wearing masks because that's the rule. I mean, the kids are going to school in a group, and they're going to wear masks. And this student here, of course, I walk my son to the group meeting place, and of course I'm going to wear a mask. But what I'm saying here is here that I got a comment. What's comment? Where's the comment? Let me see if I find this comment. Oh, now I can't find it. Maybe it was in this video. Anyway, someone gave me shit, basically, for wearing a mask. Maybe it's here? I wrote him a really long ass comment, but now I cannot find it. Anyway, someone gave me shit for, maybe he erased it, and now it's gone. Yeah, someone gave me shit for wearing a mask. I'm like, I wanted to address that because it happens quite a lot. And actually, friends of mine here who live in Japan actually give me shit for wearing a mask sometimes. Look here, if you look at these pictures here, this picture here, I'm in a 7-Eleven with a guy who works at 7-Eleven, and he's dressed as a demon for Setsubun, which is on March 3rd. It's kind of a ceremony festival we have here. And people, even for this, are like, oh, you're wearing a mask, people take off their masks to drink. Like, see this old, like if you go in this is the subway here. If you look in here, everyone is wearing a mask. This is the Nagoya station, right? And it's just the rule. It's common sense, right? And I know some people are like, well, it maybe doesn't work, or I don't think it works, right? But the thing is, doctors wear masks when they operate, right? I mean, they have forever. And Japanese have been wearing masks. Let me see if I can find the book here. Here it is. Since the Spanish, this is a book called The Great Influenza, which is about the Spanish flu. Since whenever that was, 1918, 1917? Yeah, never say that, right? Never wore a mask once and no jabs either. Totally fine here in Florida. Yeah, you're totally fine. So congratulations. But it doesn't mean they don't work, and doesn't mean that another person, the vaccine could have benefited someone else. So, like I said yesterday, your subjective experience is irrelevant on a global scale. But like Ash 1928 said, that's probably the most influential thing in her life, even though it's not logically valid at all, right? So like I said yesterday, I met a Mormon. I had a Mormon teacher who worked for me. He was a horrible, horrible person. And after that, I never wanted to hire a Mormon again, right? And it's not logical, but we have to fight against this illogical stuff. So, Asha, your experience is very influential for you, but really it's kind of irrelevant, right? Anyway, so here we go. The Great Influenza is a book about the Spanish flu and how it was treated. It's very interesting, and that's when Japanese people started wearing masks when the flu happened. And if you look in this book, actually, let me see. I'll show you a picture here. It's a picture of a lot of dead people. Oh, maybe it wasn't in this book. Oh, yeah, here we go. See a picture. See, there's workers on the street wearing masks, and that was back in 18 or so. The police officer wearing a mask, conducting traffic, wearing a mask. Right? So it wasn't like, it's not a new thing. People wore masks back then, and they did it again for the pandemic, right? Anyway, it's not a big fucking deal. And I want to point out some other things. Japanese remember this, Japanese have been wearing masks long before the pandemic, long before COVID. In fact, there were when I was at a high school, there was one student that the whole year I never saw her face. And not just her, a couple of students. They preferred wearing the mask. So all year, they just had the mask on. They made them comfortable, and it has been a fashion statement. In fact, long before COVID, you could go to stores and buy funny masks. They weren't that popular, not like now where they're everywhere, but they were, they weren't unknown. They weren't rare. They were like just things people would buy, and a lot of people wore them. And in the subway, when someone was sick, it was completely normal to see someone wearing a mask. Right? So, see, Black Tango says, had 5 jabs, always wear a mask everywhere. So there you go. 2 people with completely different, points of view. Matteo says, where do you think COVID came from? It's just a disease that happened. Nobody's held accountable. Well, then you're assuming someone created it. I don't think someone created it, just like someone didn't create the flu. It just happens. People get sick. I don't know why you want to hold someone accountable. We're going to get to China in a minute. Anyway, the other thing is, it's fashion. Part of it's fashion. Part of it's personal preference, wearing the mask. But when someone wears a hat, like I'm wearing a hat inside, right? Okay, and people wear baseball caps all the time. Joey Swoll. That's I like Joey. Do you guys like Joey Swoll? He's a really funny TikTok influencer. This guy here. This guy, right? He's pretty funny. He looks like an arrogant son of a bitch, but he's pretty funny. Pretty funny guy. And he does videos about educating people about how they should behave in the gym and how they shouldn't behave. And in almost all his videos, he's wearing a baseball cap on backwards. Okay? What is the point of that? It doesn't even look good. It makes him look dumb. It doesn't look good. This, I would say, is a little more of a fashion statement, right? Or even the baseball cap on correctly. Where is it? Is more of a where is it? I just lost it. Is more of a fashion statement, right? Like this picture here. But wearing a baseball cap on backwards has no functionality whatsoever. Not even from a fashion point of view. Now, out here, look, he's in the sun. No, he's not in the sun. He's inside. He's inside wearing a baseball cap. But you ever walk up to people and say, excuse me, sir, you're wearing a baseball cap inside. The sun is not shining in here. There's no point to that at all. But we completely accept it, right? Things change. You know what? I bet you when baseball caps first became popular, people were like, why are you wearing your baseball cap inside? In fact, it was considered rude to wear a hat inside. Back in the day, when you wore a hat, when you go inside someone's home, you take off your hat. And when a pretty lady walks by or someone you respect, you take off your hat. That's why we have the expression, hats off to you. I got to take my hat off to you, right? And it's a sign of respect. But now it's not. For most of this generation, if you watch The Sopranos, there's one famous scene where what's the guy's name? Tony? Yeah, Tony Soprano goes up to this young guy in an Italian restaurant and says, "Hey, take off your hat." He goes, "This ain't the bleachers. They took out the bleachers, take off your hat." So, anyway, so obscurus. This guy, actually, Joey Swoll, is very functional. He has high mobility. He can do backflips and stuff. I don't know about wiping his butt, but I'm pretty sure he probably can. Yeah. So he's not like that guy. Why don't you watch his videos instead of just commenting without knowing anything? Because you don't know anything, right? My bench press. Well, I've been kind of sick for a couple of weeks. My bench press is at 10, definitely 100 for sure. I can easily do 100. But I'm trying to get up to 110 or 105 this year. So my goal is 5 kilograms every year for the next 5 years. So by the time I'm 60, I'd like to be able to bench 120, maybe 125. That's my goal. It's going okay. Yeah. But like I said, I hurt my tendons last year doing way too much, and now I don't do too much. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. The masks. When I don't know why some of you, not all of you, not even most of you, but some people see someone wearing a mask and they get all triggered, like, why are you wearing a mask? Oh my God, he's wearing a mask. Like, what's it to you? Does it bother? It has nothing to do with you. So the guy's wearing a mask. You have no idea. If you don't know the person, maybe he has elderly parents, maybe he's got cancer, maybe he's immune compromised, whatever. Maybe he's shy. Maybe he has some facial scars or something he's covering. Who the hell knows? But it's none of your goddamn business. So, anyway, the plastic dividers, they're annoying, the plastic dividers. Yeah. Okay, good big old guy question for years. You taking magnesium? No. I've read about TRT. I'll tell you something funny about TRT, which is testosterone. I think I don't know what replacement treatment maybe. So one of my students is a little bit older than me, 1 year, and we actually met in Guam. I was with my kids and he was with his kids, and we were in the swimming pool at the same hotel. And I overheard his kid talking about Komaki, which is near my house, and I was like, "Are you guys from Nagoya?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, so are we." And so we became friends. Then we came back to Japan. He started coming to my school. Really nice guy, really fun guy. And he tells me about 3 months ago, he comes in and he looks great, you know. And we're always talking about doing pull-ups and stuff. I'm like, how are you doing your pull-ups? Because he does pull-ups too, and both our goals are to do lots of pull-ups. So, and he says, I said, "You look great. What's going on?" He goes, and he's like, I lost a lot of weight on my stomach. I can do 25 push-ups, no problem. 30 push-ups, no problem now. I'm like, what happened? And he said, I got testosterone shots. I said, what? And he said, he went to his doctor who was feeling really languid or lacking of energy. There's another word for it, I can't remember. And we had no energy. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor said that his testosterone supply had dried up. And they call this like male menopause. And some men, not me, but some men stop producing menopause at a certain age. And as a result, they get lethargic. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, cool Steve. He got very lethargic. And now he's getting testosterone shots, I think twice a month. And he said, you really ought to do it. I'm like, really? But I'm fine. And my testosterone's fine. But he said that as a result, he's actually been able to increase his bench and his pull-ups and push-ups, and he's lost weight and putting on muscle with less effort, you know. So I looked into it because I was like, well, if I got testosterone shots and I can, which I don't need, but I didn't know that at the time, if I can improve my bench press, that'd be kind of cool. So I looked into it. But once you start doing testosterone shots, you're telling you that those shots that externally introduced testosterone will signal to your brain that you do not need to make any more testosterone, and you will stop making testosterone. So at present, luckily, I'm still making testosterone. So if I were to get testosterone shots, I might be able to get more testosterone, but my brain would stop producing testosterone probably forever, and I would be basically hooked or on testosterone forever. So I thought, I don't need that. I'm not interested in that kind of commitment, you know. Everything's fine. I'm full of energy. I go to the gym. I can run 5 to 8 kilometers every other day. So I'm fine. I don't have any lack of energy, and everything else is, you know, the thing that testosterone do, my body's doing, if you know what I mean. So no worries there. Let me see. Why the hell do people care who wears a mask if they want to? Just go on with the business, yeah. So, but I've heard people say things about magnesium and TRT, and I didn't even know like magnesium. I never heard of magnesium. Yeah, your question here. Yeah, I never heard about magnesium. But let me see. Here's something else that's very interesting. Oh my God! Now, someone tell me, what is the name? Cordyceps? Cordyceps? Yeah. You know, you guys know what cordyceps are, right? Thanks to them, new show, what's it called? The Last of Us. But my dad calls it The Last of Us because he has a Spanish accent. Because of The Last of Us, cordyceps have become quite a big search thing on Google. People are trying to figure out what they are. But I didn't know this. I was watching Joe Rogan, a short clip on YouTube on Joe Rogan the other day, and apparently they're used in health benefits, right? So check this out. So you can actually buy organic cordyceps like this. See? They sell that. And apparently a lot of people take this before they do a workout. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was a thing to do. You know? So there are some health benefits to this. It's not going to, look, it's bottled already. It's like multi-million-dollar industry already, apparently. Give me a plane right now. See, cordyceps, right? Anyway, that's something else that I recently found out. But to go back to your question, I don't know anything about magnesium or TRH. I don't take anything. I don't even take. I used to drink protein shakes, but now I just get lots of. I make sure I have fish or chicken. I eat apples all the time. Right? Apples I know don't have any protein, but kind of clean out your system. Natto, chicken salads that are pre-cooked, so it's I just peel it and eat it. Right. Mm. Every time I see Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us, I have to think of you. He could be your brother. Yeah, yeah. I guess I have like a slightly. Well, he's from Chile. I'm from Peru. So, and they're right next to each other. And I have a good friend in Chile, and he says that Pedro Pascal is like a god back in Chile, and he's like their Keanu Reeves. Like everyone thinks he's just a great guy. Okay. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. When it comes to how's this going? Well, 45 minutes. I'm way off target, man. I want to end in 1 hour. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick was about we were talking about China. Well, Bard came out. So you guys know about Chat GPT, and Google's Bard came out and failed miserably. But I have confidence that Google's going to be able to turn that around, and we're going to see what's happening. But Bing is already out. You guys know that Microsoft Bing has already got their AI. And what's it called? They're including AI into their search engine, and they're trying to take over from Google now. But I think Google, I read a little bit, and Google's been working on AI for a long, long time. They just a little bit slower to roll it out. So anyway, it's just an interesting debate. We're going to see what's happening. My brother's like, it's over for Google, but we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't count Google out quite. Do you peel your apples? No. But my daughter insists that I peel her apples before I give them to her, because if there's any peel on her apple, she won't eat it at all. Yeah, mycelium products, can be easily. Yes, I heard about this. So you got to be careful about be careful about who you buy from. Yeah. But I'm not buying. I'm not taking anything. So. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that the Fast X, they're finally going to wrap up the Fast and the Furious, which by the way in Japanese is called Wild Speed. And I don't know, I'm kind of tired of that series. That's all. But I'll probably go watch it. I hope it's good. I love John Cena though, because I love, what's that Patriot thing he's got? Peacemaker. Oh man, that is one of my favorite. If you guys have not seen Peacemaker, it is so funny. I love Peacemaker, man. It's just stupid, ridiculous, funny. So, yay, another fellow Peruvian DC star. Here's a question that anyone can figure out. I will be so happy. So this guy, his name is Totally Anton. I don't know him at all. But I found that he's making these weird videos of balloons that are they're just very simple. Most satisfying sound lately. They're like ASMR videos of balloons, and I don't know how he does it. And I've been looking at the video, and he'll do a bunch of videos about other stuff, and then videos. Hold on, where is it? He'll do a bunch of videos, and then he'll do a video on another balloon. I can't find one now. Where's it? I can't find it now, but he'll do like 7 or 8 regular videos, and then he'll do a balloon video again. So he keeps repeating the balloon thing. So anyway, I don't know how he does it, but if anyone can figure it out, I'd be really grateful. I've done searches, but I don't know how he does it. Anyway, I'm just asking for your help on that one. Let me see, anything else interesting that I want to talk to you about there? No, but if you haven't followed me on Instagram, there it is. It's called Give Me a Break Man, same as this channel. They're absurd. Yeah. They went to it's crazy. He's completely right. Yeah. There's my Twitter, which is called Japanese for Morons, right? So you're into that phone is way too close to be usable. Oh yeah. Let me see. Oh, that's us. We're looking into Was there anything else I wanted to show you here? Oh yeah, there was something that was kind of mildly thought-provoking, and it's about Bill Gates. Let's see if I can find it. No, I don't know. I think I might have closed the window by accident. So here's the argument. Okay, China has 1 billion plus. How many people in China right now? I don't even know the population. I think it's changed. How many people? Population China. Let's see, 1.2 million, 1.4. Oh my God, 1.4 billion people. Okay. So what percentage of the world is 1.4 billion? So that, and that's going to be, oh, it's second, 8 billion people. So you can figure it out. It's 1.16 maybe, about 1.6. That makes sense. Almost, not 1.6. But anyway, that's a lot of people, right? So Bill Gates said, and I thought this was interesting to say, he said that if oh, here it is. Yeah. This is it. This is the article. Bill Gates says that the rise of China is good for everyone because China used to be a very, very poor country, right? So if 1.4 billion people are suddenly not poor anymore and they're middle class and the whole economy is better, that means 1.4 billion people, or whatever that is, 15% of the world is doing better. So we should applaud that. And from a logical point of view, as much as we've been raised and we've been taught to hate China, I've never hate. I mean, I don't think you can hate people who live in a country. You can hate a dictatorship or an authoritarian government or a government, but I don't hate Chinese people. So if they're doing better, he's right. It's better for the world that China does better. And I just thought it was interesting because it kind of goes against, because people are using this, what Bill Gates said, people are using this against him, and saying he's a China lover and a Chinese apologist. But if you think about it, it's just logical. I don't think he thinks about things like that. He's like, well, they're 15% of the population. That's a lot of people. So if they're doing better, then good for them. So anyway, I think that was all I wanted to cover. Hold on, am I missing something? We don't have that. Let's kill these windows that are no longer interesting. So I can find hard off. Hibiki got that. I'll keep this. Well, actually, I don't need this either. Yeah. I think that was about it. I think that I covered everything I wanted to talk about today. Really? Oh no, there was one more thing. I knew something was missing. So check out this guy. You see? You can't see the screen. I have to share. I have to stop new screen here. Stop screen. Share this screen. Check out this guy. Okay. Now I'm not going to play with sound because I want to tell you the story instead. But today I was riding my bicycle in Nagoya, as I always do, and you can't tell from this picture, but this young guy, he must have been in his 20s. He rode by me, and I don't have a picture of my bicycle, but I have a Trek, fairly big Trek road bike. It's like 27 inches, 28 inches, and it's a pretty big bike. But because I have kids now, I put my daughter's seat on her back, on her, baby seat behind me in the back rack, and I put a basket in the front rack so I can carry their shit, when I would take them to school and stuff. Hey, Kingfish, good to see you. Hey, Slap That Game, good to see you again, man. So this guy, young guy, I'm just riding on the bicycle on the side of the road, going with traffic, and this young guy rides by me, and he just gives me the finger really up close, like right in my face. He's literally, I could just reach out and touch him. And I'm like, what's that for? I mean, I don't even remember ever seeing him before. So I go up near him and I said, "Nankatano?" And I said, what, did something happen? He's like, you passed me too quickly. Like, I don't even remember passing him at all. But I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right? And then we get to the intersection, and this time I turn my camera on him. And I thought I would just, I was like, film, this guy just passed me and gave me the middle finger. Because Japanese don't realize what this means, I mean, in America, you would not do this to a stranger. These are potentially fighting words. You can get in trouble for doing this. There's a great Seinfeld where George Costanza is chasing a guy who he thinks is giving him the middle finger for like miles and miles, right? Anyway, this guy gave me the middle finger at the intersection. I took the camera off I have a camera holder, whatever, on my bicycle, so I'm not holding it. And I turned the camera towards him, right? John Wick is, over the top too, yeah. And he comes over and like, why are you filming me? And he grabs onto my bicycle and like, don't touch my shit. And I told him in Japanese. But I was at this point because he grabbed onto my bicycle basket, and I'm like, what's this MF doing, And I was really surprised because because I'm much bigger than this punk, and I'm thinking I could just crush this guy. And why is he attacking me in the first place? Why is he giving me the middle finger? And I did nothing to this guy as far as I know. So I said, why did you give me the middle finger? And he says, you passed by me too closely on the bike lane. I'm like, was there a bike lane back there? I don't know. So I said, so this is how you communicate? You think I'm supposed to understand? Move over or be careful because you give me the middle finger? I said, do you understand what this means in English? It means die. It means fuck in Japanese, shinu, which is basically the nearest. Japanese don't have an expression for the FU, right? But they say shinu, which means die, which is the strongest insult in Japan. So I said, first of all, as soon as I said, don't touch my bike, he says, be quiet. And I could tell he cannot speak English at all. I'm like, it's okay, I speak Japanese. He's like, oh, okay. Then I explained to him that this is not a form of communication. This accomplishes nothing, right? So I'll just like, so he comes over to my bike, right? Then he grabs on my bicycle. He grabs on right there, and I take his hand away. I slap it away, like, hey, don't touch my bike. And then we're talking. I explained to him, and then I explained to him. I said, look, this is not a form of communication. The middle finger in the face does not accomplish anything. And you don't know me. I said, what if I'm some crazy guy? I could just, destroy you. I'm much bigger than you are. And he says, yeah, you're right. Like he was logical after I talked to him. And he said, and he apologized. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this was such a bad thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, he's wearing a mask. But you can tell he's young. I mean, he's a young guy. Yeah. But I was really tempted to, to be violent, to push him over, or to lash out at him. But it would have been nothing. I mean, like the guy must have weighed 60 kilograms, 120 pounds, maybe, and I weighed 90, so it would have been, but it was weird. It was just weird. He just rode his bicycle right by me and goes like this. It was just a weird thing to do, and it didn't happen. And then I'm thinking, I'm on my way to work to do a class, and I'm thinking, if I'm not going to be late to my class because of this guy, that's just a ridiculous thing to happen. It would be really embarrassing. So I got the class, and I was sweaty and a little. But yeah, I got to tell you that even though I've been in a lot of confrontational situations, I still get, riled up. I'm like, right. And I wish I could just control that a little bit better. Like I told a lot of people, I told you guys, I'm glad I had kids when I was older, because I think when I was younger, I think I've mellowed out quite a bit. So when I was younger, I probably would have been more prone to spanking and things like that. So, but yeah, this guy, he just got in my face, and when he grabbed my bicycle, I just assumed he was trying to pick a fight. It was a weird thing to do, just walk go. Well, maybe because I was filming him, you know, you could piss him off. But he came up to my bicycle and grabbed the bicycle basket, right? Oh yeah, Zerat Yenin. Yeah, it's horrible what's happening in Turkey. Man, I'm sorry you're yeah, don't call me a fan though. Just say a viewer or something. I don't feel comfortable with the word fan. Yeah, you know, to be honest, I have not looked into what's happening in Turkey. I just know initial reports were 11,000 have died. Now it's up to 5,000. Now it's 11,000. I don't even know the latest, but I have donated money in the past to like Doctors Without Borders, that kind of stuff. So the thing about donating to things like this is that you never know that you're donating to a proper group, you know. So I basically go with the major groups like Red Cross or Doctors Without Borders, because I think a lot of people take advantage of tragedies like this to come up with a charity to collect money and just keep it. Like George, that guy George, what's his name? What's the guy? George, not George Costanza, but George from the guy who's lying in Congress now. I forgot his name last night too. I can't. It's a good thing I can't remember his name because he's just a liar. Anyway, but yeah, if you guys should look into that and to donate some money to Turkey. See, that's a much more noble cause than than who DiCaprio is having sex with. That's what we should be talking about. Yeah. So to summarize, that George Santos. Yes, I don't know why can't I remember Santos. Yeah. To summarize, I felt a bit guilty after seeing what old angry Aussie looked like. It's kind of weird to see someone that you look up to and was always angry and ranting at the camera, just singing from the camera, looking like a emaciated Santa Claus. So I felt kind of bad about that. But I mean, it wasn't him. It was the fact that the way he dealt with the whole issue that bothered me. What's your favorite ice cream topping? I'm quite boring. I basically like vanilla. That's about it. Maybe a little chocolate on top of it. That's about it. Anyway. But I'm glad, I will tell you one thing. I am glad I did not get involved with this kid. Because if I had raised my hand, it would have been me going to jail or the hassle would have been definitely not worth it. So if you are ever, you probably heard this, if you're interested in Japan at all, you probably heard this before. You really got to bite your tongue sometimes when it comes to dealing with the locals, because the cops will almost always act in favor. You no matter what happens, even if you were the victim, you will suddenly be the aggressor in their eyes. So you're better off just staying out of trouble. But like I was lucky. This guy, he apologized and we went on our separate ways, and that was it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you all. I'm trying to keep these down to an hour because the first one 2 days ago was 2 hours long, and I don't think anybody watches those. But I'll try to just I can't promise tomorrow, but I'll try to continue or make these more often. Now that I'm back on the wagon. So I do appreciate everyone's support and the fact that you come out and watch these. And thank you very much. Good to see you guys. Great to see a lot of old names in here, like Crumbine. Haven't seen you forever. Really creative guy. If you guys don't know Crumbine, seriously, this guy is one of the funniest and creative guys. Very creative. Are you still in Miami? Used to be in Miami. And then another guy, Ed. Jet Ed, Jedi Ed. I forgot his name, but something Ed. He was up a little bit earlier. I'm trying to find him now, but anyway, earlier in the chat, Electro Jedi Ed, Electro Jed 2. Right, he was one of the old timers, old school. Yeah. It's great to see some of the old school people. Electro Jed, yeah. Really surprised. That's great to know some of you guys still pop on here. And you're not just spending all your time on TikTok. Okay, that's it. Say my goodbyes. Thank you. Talk to you guys very soon. Good night.